Hello and welcome back to another episode of Uncut XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. Today we're getting introduced to a new soldier that was provided by Andy Schwarzkopf. Growing up poor is not ideal, but it does build character. Shanks Paleton grew up on the fringes of a city in a rundown trailer park in Middle America. His living conditions taught him how to recycle and reuse things that most people would throw away. They also made him proficient at spicing up even the simplest foods. No one could make a fried bologna and cheese sandwich like Paleton, and most of his neighbors knew this. He was quite popular for his culinary abilities. When the aliens invaded, Paleton's trailer park was hit with an orbital strike from a UFO. He was away scavenging at the time, but when he heard the horrific sound of his home being turned to rubble, he raced back. The destruction was complete, and Paleton felt the weight of survivors' guilt growing on his shoulders. But before the weight became unbearable, he started digging in the rubble and collecting supplies. He gathered whatever he could and spent the next 20 years living in isolation in the wild. Paleton has spent the last few months living in a resistance group and has recently become a high-value operative for Xcom and a great cook. VIPs trying to flee from Advent cities often spend several days in the wilderness before contacting us or a resistance haven. Paleton is an excellent escort for those who have never spent a day in the woods. Okay folks, we've got a pretty interesting dilemma on our hands. We've got two very powerful and very frustrating dark events to deal with and two very difficult missions to choose from. The first one is a sabotage transmitter mission. We've done one of these before a long time ago and it was very difficult. This was the only mission that I've failed thus far. Well, it's not the only mission that I failed, but it's one of the few missions that I failed because of the pace required to complete it. I'm sure I could do it now, but this mission is ranked very difficult, and because my gear is not all at the level that I want it to be, I don't feel confident that we can tackle that. This is countering the Dark Event rural checkpoints, which decreases our supplies from supply drops by 50%. It's very powerful, and it's pretty devastating. The next Dark Event is a bit frustrating more than anything, and it has potential to spiral out of control. High alert XCOM will not be concealed at the start of missions. That changes the flow of the game. It forces you to go at the pace that the game provides. If you move and you activate a pod, that's it. You don't get to sneak around, you don't get to tiptoe. If you have a scouting unit, that's fine, but getting ambushes is significantly more difficult if you don't have concealment, and on a difficult mission with only 7 turns or whatever, it's hard to deal with. So I'm thinking this is going to be the best choice, going for high alert. So let's get in there and protect this device from being destroyed. The reward is 237 supplies. That's pretty good. We only have 60 supplies at the moment, and we're going to need a lot more than that to build all of our different types of Gauss weapons. So I'm feeling comfortable with it. Let's get out there. Okay, people, we are going to brute force our way through this mission with a whole bunch of shotguns. We have a Reaper, 3 Rangers, and a Specialist. Our Reaper is not looking too great right now. She is using the Tier 1 Vector Rifle, but her only saving grace is that she has the Claymore with Shrapnel, so that deals a big burst of damage to a large area. And additionally, the High Explosive Sit Rep means there will be a lot of objects for us to target with the Remote Start ability. Our first Ranger is Samuel Deathwalker Aziri. He is a Blade Master. He's got the tracer. He's got the tracer rounds to increase his aim and the nanofiber vest to increase his hit points. Our next Ranger is Francesca Apex Petrova, and she is best buddies with our Reaper, so they're going to have the teamwork ability that they can use at some point in the mission if we need to do so. She's using the Magnetic Boltcaster, which deals a ridiculous burst of damage, strongest weapon in the game as you tier it up. The Ionic Axes, it is a better version of the sword, and it has the throw axe ability, and for her items she has a flashbang and the dragon rounds chance to set targets on fire. And finally we have Lucifer. He is our phantom spec, so he has the conceal ability and his concealment won't be broken after we start the engagement. He is using a shotgun as well with the arc blade. His items are the Talon rounds for increased crit chance and damage, and the battle scanner so we can get some extra map awareness. And you know what? The last thing we're going to do before we head out is we're going to equip Superior Perception on Francesca Apex Petrova. That is giving her additional aim. So when you combine the Boltcaster with plus 15 and then another plus 14 from the PCS that we just equipped, she's going to be ridiculously accurate with that bolt caster. And that's the whole concept of the weapon. You want, whenever you fire it, you want it to hit. So let's get out there and protect this device so we can get our supplies.
Apparently the Resistance has been relying on an old data tap along the Advent network that had, up until this point, been eluding the aliens' detection. Recent intel suggests the data the Resistance found is critical to the aliens' latest operation. Unfortunately, Advent is already moving to take out the device, and we can't let that happen. Eliminate all hostile contacts and secure the area. Protect that device at all costs.
Remember, Commander, there are extremely volatile materials scattered throughout this area. We need to make sure our troops are clear of any possible explosions.
Closing on target position.
Okay, well, be careful. This is I've never done this sit rep before, so this is going to be an interesting one to see how much we can really manipulate the explosives to our advantage. Because that's going to be the idea for today, is to try and catch as many enemies where they shouldn't be and blow them up as efficiently as possible. It'll be pretty exciting. On a different note, I really love the voice actor that does Central Officer Bradford. I have no idea who it is, and as much as it can become repetitive at times, there's a lot of subtlety in his voice. And already we've got enemies shooting at the objective. Unfortunately, there's a shield bearer standing right there, so most likely as soon as we get to the objective, there's going to be a big conglomerate of enemies all clumped together on this thing, and it's going to make it difficult for us to engage. So we're going to start off by we're going to advance a bit, and then we're going to throw out the battle scanner in before there's enemies on the other side of this room that we can't see. Okay, we haven't revealed anything, so I'm going to throw out the battle scanner, get a little bit of vision just to make our advance a bit safer. And it's all clear, so we can start rushing a bit. Let's go. So, going back to Central Officer Bradford, I don't know who the voice actor is, but there's so much subtlety in his performance. Uh-oh. There's so much subtlety in his performance, and every once in a while you can feel that the character is experiencing some kind of irritation or frustration. That there's a lot to it, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the quality in voice acting, because there have been times when I've watched something that's well voice acted, and then I turn around and watch something that's poorly voice acted, or not even just voice acting, quality wise. You feel the difference in the quality, and it's very apparent when something is good versus when something is bad. Now, we've got a very stupidly ridiculous group of enemies over here. Spectre, a captain, and 2 Mutons. I don't like it. There's probably another Muton hanging out somewhere that we can't see. It's not looking very good for us. These explosives have a pretty decent radius, so we can definitely use that to our advantage. But the problem is that we don't have any that are near enough to the enemies to be of any value to us. Yeah, they're not close enough yet, so we can't really engage. And what's even worse, is that this group of enemies is very powerful. But maybe, just maybe, we can get a flank and a good ambush. Yeah, maybe it's possible for us to get a good ambush. So we're gonna try and set up here in such a way that we can do a big burst of damage without putting ourselves in jeopardy. The objective is pretty powerful, so I'm not too worried about it getting destroyed just yet. I can't see how much health it has remaining. I feel like you used to be able to, and maybe they changed it, but or maybe it's bugged. But whatever the case, we're gonna give it one more turn, and then we're gonna engage. Maybe we're not going to engage. What the hell do I do? This is actually pretty stupid. Alright, you know what? We're not going to engage with them. We're not going to engage. We're going to move towards the objective and fight by that. Because this group of enemies is just... I don't like the way it's positioned. And I don't want to deal with it right now. So I'm not going to. An example, though, of good good versus bad that I've been experiencing lately is I mentioned a couple of episodes ago that I was watching a show called My Hero Academia, and it gets better with every episode, and it's surprising how good the writing is for what the show is supposed to be, because at the end of the day it's a cartoon, so I don't expect it to make me feel that much. I expect it to be good. I expect it to have some sense of quality to it, but I don't expect it to be as groundbreaking as it is. I don't expect it to pull on my heartstrings and be just a very high quality piece of entertainment that it is. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. We have eyes on another explosive that is next to the Advent shield bearer, so it is very likely that we can destroy him instantly. So what we're gonna do is start advancing the rest of our soldiers. We're gonna get everybody nice and snug in a pretty nice spot to ambush. Unfortunately, we're probably gonna get flanked at some point. Oh, we don't have vision from up there. There's no two ways about it. This is gonna stink. Alright, so we got to keep our ass covered, because for some reason that Advent Trooper and the Captain are like running behind us, literally just sprinting after us. So we just have to be careful. And the Advent Officer is shooting so often at the device that it only has 12 health remaining, and he had to reload. And like this is crazy, man. This is too much. Okay. Enough is enough. It's time to get started. We can't just keep waiting forever. I can get all of the targets caught in the shrapnel.
Now we wait.
Okay, unfortunately, I don't think I can detonate the shrapnel and the explosive at the same time. Yeah, no, because the explosive is outside of the room with the objective in it. So, but you notice that the shrapnel was covering every piece of enemy that is inside that room. So a lot of motherfuckers are about to die, okay? And this is probably gonna do a lot of damage. I'm feeling good about it. I'm a little bit nervous about these guys that are flanking us, but we have Predator armor for a reason. So I'm gonna put my guys and girls on Overwatch. I'm going to leave Lucifer alone because he's the Phantom, and then we're going to start this off by making a ridiculously big explosion. This is going to shred a lot of armor. Bang. Unfortunately, because it's not enough to kill the shield bearer, they're still going to get shields. But that damage was pretty damn valuable. And because the shield bearer moved towards the explosive canister, if we kill him in the next turn with said canister, then we will disable the shields on everybody. That is a fun tip for you. If you kill the bearer of the shield, then the shields become no more. And oh man, we're gonna lose. We're gonna frickin' lose because of the objective. Fuck, man, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose the objective because that Advent Officer is just gonna take a shot at it. All right, well, on the bright side, we get to kill the sectoid at the very least, so that's something. Did I finish my thought about? No, I didn't. Okay, so anyway, I was watching the show, and the most recent episode, it blew me away. I was completely flabbergasted at the level of quality and storytelling. And then I watched another show that I'm quite fond of, Dragon Ball Z, and I was left feeling very empty because it wasn't and isn't on the same level of quality, and the writing isn't nearly as good. There's just so many things about My Hero Academia that's better than what I've become accustomed to, and it's truly staggering the difference in that kind of stuff. And so I say all that to say, just like with Central Officer Bradford, and the subtleties in his voice acting. I can feel the shit. I got revealed. I can feel the subtleties in the voice acting of different shows and the quality of different shows. How much you want to bet that the purifier blows up and destroys the objective? I will bet an arm and a leg on that. Get out of here, really? That seems a bit strange. All right, but we are still probably going to lose the mission because that Advent officer in the back is not as determined as I thought he was. He went on Overwatch, so that's going to save us. Shield Bearer is going to put up shields, but he's only got 3 extra hit points on top of the 4. Unfortunately, we're getting flanked by the Muton. Predator armor, do your stuff. Did a lot of damage. That was painful. That was very painful. I didn't like that. And to add insult to injury, he's gotten mind controlled as well. Alright, this is a pretty do or die moment right here. If we muck this up at all, then we're gonna be in some deep doo-doo. We've most definitely got to kill everything except for the captain if we want to get out of here alive. There was another group with that Spectre and the Muton in the back, but I don't know if they're patrolling towards us. So I do feel a little bit more comfortable with doing like kind of aggressive stuff. So here's what the plan is going to be. We're going to take out the sectoid with Francesca. So that's going to put her, that's going to get her flanked. I do realize this, but that is also going to free up Lucifer to do some stuff. So that's going to be step number 1. She's going for it, and she got it. Ridiculous amounts of damage. He didn't stand a chance. So now that we've freed up our buddy Lucifer, we can take out the Muton without much trouble, but I have a better idea. Instead of just trying to bull charge through the shield with brute force, we are going to use teamwork to get ahead. Boom, boom. Cheer your girlfriend up. Go get him, girl. You do your thing. So now we have another action point on Francesca that we can use for a number of different things. The throw axe ability only deals 6 to 8 damage, which means I might waste it if I just throw it at the shield bearer's face. So what I'll do first, yeah, we're gonna throw the axe at this guy. If it max rolls, then it kills him. Why not? Free action. Let's do it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. So now we go and we slash the shield bearer. Like this. And surprise, surprise, we are not vulnerable when doing this, because we are in a nice piece of cover. The shields have been removed from everybody. It is unfortunate that I couldn't confidently shoot the shield bearer and kill him first, and then throw the axe at the captain, because that would have been a guaranteed kill. But overall, I think this was pretty good. So now, here's where things get a bit more complicated. We have options as to how we handle this. I could very easily slash the Advent captain in the face, but that's a pretty risky move running into the fog of war like that. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do first is shoot this guy right up in his grill, because we're not playing games with shot percentages today. I've been playing a little bit of Xcom in my spare time, and I've been missing a stupid amount of 90% shots. So why don't we guarantee?
You know that was good.
And unfortunately, I don't imagine there's a way for us to kill the captain unless that explosive is going to destroy the scaffolding. I feel like it's not going to go up there, but I'm going to try it. Nice. Alright, let's pick up the loot and then go back into cover. We still have to eliminate the remaining enemies, so there should be at least one more group. I make assumptions a lot that there aren't that. I always make an assumption that there's less enemies on the map than there are more, and I need to stop doing that. So I'm gonna assume that there's like 5,000 aliens left, and I'm gonna tread very carefully. So I'm gonna throw out battle scanners. I'm gonna be super cautious about things, so nobody gets injured more than they already are. Lucifer's the only one that got bruised up so far. So let's send out that healing. And because Dragonova was fortunate enough to remain in shadow concealment, we can continue using her as a scout. And most likely before we engage again, the remote start ability will be ready to use again, so that'll be beneficial to us. We didn't get eyes on anything, so we're going to be very, very passive. Just go back on Overwatch, slowly but surely crawling to the next group of enemies. So yeah, I suppose now is the time where I pose the question, what are some things that opened your eyes to a higher quality of viewing or living? Are there things that you've experienced in your life like that? Oh yeah, these guys are still chilling in the same spot where we left them the first time. Lazy. Lazy. They don't deserve to work for Advent. Advent is for winners and doers. These guys are obviously slackers. What's another example of that? There's certain restaurants that I've been to that have opened my eyes a little bit. Of course, I can't remember them offhand, but if you spend most of your time going to Red Lobster and then you go to some gourmet $500 per plate restaurant, then all of a sudden Red Lobster don't taste that good anymore. But at the same time, I do have an appreciation for things of lesser quality. Love is a strong word, but I do love fast food. The McGriddle, delicious. Anybody that says they don't love McDonald's is a liar. I don't care. Well, it's not healthy for you. Yeah, it's terrible for you. That's the point. But anyway, let's just finish this mission. Yeah, let's finish the mission. So we're gonna move up. This is gonna activate. Depending on where the enemies run to, that'll change our course of action. Fingers crossed that they don't know those little red containers are explosive. They do not realize what they've done. This is silly. This is very silly. But I don't care. The thing about XCOM is that even when things are happening that clearly feel like you're just like cheating the system, this game is so fucking punishing. Oh, I gotta stop cursing. This game is so punishing sometimes that it doesn't even matter. Like, I will take whatever luxuries I can get. Unfortunately, the explosion was so powerful that it destroyed Lucifer's cover as well. It blew up part of the wall, but that's fine. It's definitely a fair trade. We eliminated the Spectre. He's probably the lower priority target out of the ones in this grouping, but still, an elimination is an elimination. And we actually have a flank on the Mouton with a 100% chance to hit. So now we just have to decide how to finish these guys off. We might be able to get a 2-for-1 here. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to use... Well, I don't have to use run and gun, but I'm going to, because I want to end up in full cover to end this off, because I don't want to get my soldiers shot. We're going to run and gun to this pipe over here that's providing full cover. This is going to put a flank on both of the Moutons. I'm going to shoot at the one with more health, because there's a chance that I'll stun him, and that'll make my next course of action safer. If we don't stun him, if we kill him, that's great, but even if we don't stun him, that's fine. We didn't get the stun. We've left him with 2 health remaining. There's a chance that the burning will kill him, but now we're in a bit of a high-risk scenario. We're going to put aid protocol on Lucifer, and then we're going to use him to finish off the 1 health Mouton. And we're all going to cross our fingers. We are all going to cross our fingers. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching right now and you're not crossing your fingers, know that you're a terrible person. So we're going to cross our fingers. We're going to move right next to this guy, and we're going to blast him. 98? Come on. Don't mess with me right now, game. Thank you very much.
Not too shabby.
Somebody out there wasn't crossing their damn fingers. And understand that I have a very specific set of skills. and I will find you. And I will give you a very stern talking to. Woof, it missed. Aid protocol is ridiculously powerful as you tier up the gremlins. The higher level the gremlin, the stronger the aid protocol. So right now we have tier 2 gremlins. Our aid protocol is stronger than half cover. Half cover only gives a 20% reduction in the enemy chance to hit. Our aid protocol gives 30 defense, which is minus 30 to hit. So that's pretty awesome. Anyway, we won. Thumbs up. I was not expecting to win this mission at all, and I am going to give Dragonova all the credit here because she is doing way more work than she needs to. Actually, you know what? Let's make a duo picture because it was Dragonova and Francesca that sort of the clutch play with the teamwork is what got us out of this. And by the way, I'm totally sexist for giving Dragonova a makeover and putting her in some hot pants. So obviously she gonna show off that booty. Is that punctuation wrong? I don't know. Dude, punctuation is a nightmare. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. We're not done with the poster yet, though. Sure. Okay. There we go. Take notes, boys. Take notes on that ass. Am I right? Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's go back to the Geoscape before I lose the very few female subscribers that I have. All right. Still Dragonova. Oh! No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Dragonova did not rank up again. But we did get a rank up on Samuel Deathwalker Aziri, and that is very valuable. He uses a shotgun, so run and gun is going to be a lot easier to use on him. The Boltcaster is a very challenging weapon to manipulate properly because it's a one-shot thing and you have to reload every time. So pairing it with run and gun is a challenge, and you only get to use it when the fight resets to neutral, but when it does, you can get a flank and deal a stupid amount of damage with it. It's probably not the optimal way to play it, but it's the way I like to play it. And as I always say, I'm a grown-ass man and I'll do what I want. So many people have their own strategy about how they're supposed to play XCOM. It's like, oh, dude, that's so suboptimal. Why would you do that? It's so garbage of you. You're so... I don't care. I don't need to hear that right now. So, we're back on the Avenger. We have the Muton autopsy available to do. We got a bunch of supplies from this. We counted the Dark Event High Alert, so that's going to be helpful for us in future missions. But now, it is time for us to go to the Geoscape. Okay, we're back on the Geoscape. We've got alien alloys available to us, but it'll take us 12 days to scan that because we have a dark event active that is increasing our scanning times. So what we're going to do is finish building this radio relay, and that is going to make it easier for us to expand to the rest of Africa when the time comes. We don't have enough intel to do so right now, but we will eventually. And there we go. The chosen assassin is being a thief with her sticky ass fingers and her sharp ass teeth. She has stolen one of our unused weapon mods. I think it was... I want to say it was an expanded magazine or something. I don't know. I don't remember what weapon mods I had available, but that's very frustrating. But there's a silver lining to all of this. We just finished the psionics lab. Now that this beautiful facility is completed, we can staff a scientist in there to reduce the training time of our psionic operatives. So in a couple of months of game time, we are going to have the ultimate XCOM soldier, and it's going to be so exciting and so satisfying. So let's go purchase a rookie and put them in the psionic chamber to wake and bake until the time comes. I will customize them at another time. So here you go, wake and bake, enjoy yourself. Because that's how you learn psionics, right? You just go in there, you smoke weed a little bit, and you're like, wouldn't it be crazy if I had magic? And then all of a sudden you get powers. So there you go.
There were some casualties during that last covert action, Commander. But our troops will all recover after some well-earned rest.
Don't... Oh my goodness gracious. Central Officer Bradford just said there were casualties on this mission. I thought somebody died, but they were just wounded. My goodness gracious. Central, you got to choose your words a little bit better. So we completed a covert operation, and this gave us the ability to change around the position of our weapon mods. It's not the greatest thing, but it's interesting that we can unequip weapon mods and essentially give every single soldier on every mission, regardless of which weapon they're using, the best loadout possible. So that's going to be something fun to experiment with if I'm not feeling lazy, but if I am, then who cares? And the next covert action I'm going to do is gather intel, because we're running a bit low on that. The 40 intel from this will put us over the edge and allow us to make contact with another region. I would prefer at the moment to go for the increased income for two reasons. Income is always nice. It's a bit subtle, but it's nice. And I'm trying to raise my faction reputation with the Templars, but the intel is a bit more important to the big picture right now. So we're going to put 2 soldiers in there. I'm trying my best to put the lower ranked soldiers in the missions for the covert operations so they level up and they'll be ready when it's finally time for us to bring in the second batch of recruits. They'll be pretty damn strong, and it'll be exciting to watch them fight, as opposed to having a bunch of rookies running around with their testicles hanging out and getting carpet burn. What? That doesn't make sense. Let's go back to the geoscape. Ooh, stop. We just finished removing a negative trait from one of our soldiers, Wing Lee, and this is something I've been severely slacking on because they don't aggressively tell you when you need to remove negative traits. It's just something that you have to remember to do. That might be an oversight, or it might be just a thing. So we're going to do that, and we also have to put an engineer in. I totally forgot to do that. But we are going to put another soldier in. Jason Hammett is the only person with a negative trait at the moment. If you'll remember, he was the one that was standing next to the Purifier when the Templar went berserk and slashed it. It wasn't my order to slash it. The Templar got crazy. So Jason Hammett's negative trait is that he's cautious. Whenever he makes a move, there is a chance that he will hunker down immediately after making that move. So we're going to put him through some therapy. I'm going to have a talk with him and sit him down and say, look, Jason, I understand things got a little bit rough out there. You almost died in a pretty disgusting way. But if you don't start listening to my orders, we're going to have a problem. I'm going to have to rough you up a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what kind of talk we're going to have, but he's going to be in there for... Yeah, he's going to be in there for 10 days, but when he comes out, he's going to be as good as new, and it's going to be very nice. Boom, we finished the radio relay, and that has increased our regional income in East Africa to 100. Now, I'm going to fly back to the Reaper headquarters and start gaining intel. It's just a passive thing. It's not a lot of intel that you gain from doing that, but it's something.
As trusted allies, I ask that you aid my kind in the battle ahead.
I don't really want to, but ooh, it gives intel. I changed my mind. I want to. We're 2 days away from finishing Gauss weapons, so I am understandably upset that another mission popped up so soon, but this one should be relatively easy. We have to recover a resistance operative. It's an engineer, and 85 intel comes along with that. So when we do this mission, it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice, and then finally when we're done with it, we will have very strong weapons, and it's going to be exciting. So we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we got some more ass to whip, more aliens to kill, and more work to do. So, as always, the name of the game is XCOM 2. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. I hope you enjoyed. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.